Welcome to the Probate Pod with Jason Siegel of the Siegel Law Firm, a podcast covering important topics in estate planning and probate in Florida. Jason serves the Treasure Coast and South Florida. Thanks for tuning in, and now here's Jason Siegel.
Hi everyone, Jason Siegel again, and another episode of the Probate Pod, where we talk about all things estate planning, legacy, and protecting the people and the things that you love most. Today is a really important episode. It's for parents out there, especially if you got little ones at home, a mortgage, and maybe riding around in a minivan that's seen better days. So let's talk about estate planning for young families and what you absolutely need to have in place. So I get it. You're busy between work, school, diapers, and the occasional meltdown in your local Target. Estate planning isn't at the top of your to-do list. But here's the thing. When you've got kids, you need a plan. Not for you, for them. Look, because if something is unexpected happens, and let's be real, life happens, the courts don't know automatically who you want to raise your children or who you trust to manage the money they might inherit. Without a solid estate plan, the court steps in. And trust me, you don't want a judge deciding who's raising your kids or managing their future. So having a good estate plan is essential. Let's talk about the core estate planning documents you need. Number one, a last will and testament. In a will, this is where you're going to name a guardian for your minor children. If you don't name someone, the courts will make that decision for you. Choose someone who shares your values, has the time, you need that energy, and maybe even the patience to raise your kids, similar to the way you would. Number two, a trust. You don't want an 18-year-old inheriting everything at once. With a revocable trust, you can set the rules. Maybe they get the money at 35, maybe they get some at 25, some at 30. You can allow the trustee to use the money for the health, the education, the maintenance and support. We often call that the HEMS. Power of attorney. Look, if you're alive but you're incapacitated, who's going to handle the bills, refinance the house, or make sure things just don't fall apart financially? That's what a power of attorney does. What about a healthcare power of attorney? Who speaks for you when you can't speak for yourself? These health care surrogates expresses what your wishes are in a medical emergency and name someone that you trust to make those decisions. I want to talk about something else, and it's not an estate planning document, but life insurance. Although it's not a legal document, it's a major part of estate planning. You can name the trust as a beneficiary of that life insurance policy, so those money's protected and used how you want it to be used. Let's talk about some common mistakes with estate planning with young children. One is thinking you're too young. Look, you're not. If you have kids, you need to do this now. Another big mistake, naming your kids directly as beneficiaries. This is a big no. You always want to run the money through a trust until they reach an old enough age, but especially if they're under 18. Don't update your plan. Well, life changes fast. New baby, move into a new state. Make sure your estate plan grows with your family. Look, we know you're watching this. We know that you love your family. You work hard for them. Estate planning is just another way of protecting them, even if you're not around to do it in person. So if you're in Florida and you're ready to start, please reach out to Jason Siegel with the Siegel Law Firm or another estate planning attorney, because even if it's not me, make sure you get this done. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me anytime. And until next time, this has been another episode of the Probate Pod with Jason Siegel. Thanks for listening, and I'm always here if you have questions.